Okay, I was going through the internet today and I found this story that I found that to be very disturbing. A couple purchased a house in Oregon, a foreclosed home for 36,000. It was within their budget, so as far as the story said, it just needed little love and a little cosmetic surgery. So they got the house from Freddie Mac and they moved in. Well, the story goes on to say after a couple of weeks, the wife who was an ER nurse started having breathing problems. The husband had headaches and nosebleed, and the 2-year-old baby had sores in the mouth. And they really couldn't understand what was going on. So, after speaking with a neighbor who lived in the neighborhood, they found out that their foreclosed home was a former meth house and that was causing them to be sick. So they paid $50 for a kit and found out that the chemical level was like 80 times higher than it was supposed to be. Um, and it's sad because none of this information was disclosed to the family in purchasing the house. The real estate agent did not give them any forewarning. Freddie Mac say they didn't know about the house being a former meth house. And far as the article goes on to say that there's 23 states who have laws including, if have you to include this information. But Freddie Mac continues to say that they was unaware. Uh, And further down in the article, it also says that there are an estimated 2.5 million meth contaminated homes in the U.S. alone. And that's sad. It's more than doubled from the year 2007 to 2010, and we're in 2012. So you can imagine how high that number is. And with the information that they give it says a threat to public safety and the environment. um, this is something that you can't really see. And then, as I read on in the article, I found out that another man had obtained a meth contaminated house in Michigan. They had been living there for 2 years, and he just buried his 14-year-old daughter. So, my question is, where is the government in all of this? Now, this couple has purchased this house. They didn't spend their money for the American dream of their family living in a home. Now, as the article says, he's paying a rent and mortgage. Don't the company need to compensate for something like this? I understand foreclosed homes, but before you can release them to sell to somebody else, there need to be some kind of protection for consumers who purchase foreclosed homes. You need, if the test is only $50 for the test to test the chemical in the house, then the bank or whoever takes over the house, you took it over, then you need to make sure that everything is tested correctly, because you all don't want to compensate nobody for anything when something goes wrong. You want to put the burden back on the owner. But this is your property. You had it. So you should make sure that it stays in good standing before it turns over to me. If I buy a car and I take it back, if it's not in good condition, then you don't give me my full money. Or if it's still damaged, you won't take it back. Hell, you can't take clothing back to the store if you don't have the tags on it. So why, when it comes down to the bigger things in this country, that it's so hard to get some kind of justice, or give me my money back, or reverse the loan because this property is contaminated. And to decontaminate a form of meth lab can run, the cost can be from 5,000 to 150,000. So if the house is 36,000 and the house is totally contaminated, pretty much the house will have to be gutted and redid all over. So if he spent 36,000, does that make sense for him to tear it down and rebuild it? So Freddie Mac should actually give the man his money back and cancel out that loan and let him. Why would he have to pay rent and a mortgage? This is so backwards. See, we have all this other stuff on TV. that's more important. And these are the issues we need to be made aware of, because some of us are living in neighborhoods where we had meth contaminated houses and nobody has a clue. So you wonder why people are having breathing problems and all these unknown illnesses. So when do it becomes important to address or make a law where the consumer is protected from purchasing foreclosed properties with these extreme problems? When does it become important? How many people have to die, or how many people have to complain before something get heard? See, this is my problem. When it comes down to things that we need to address, which battle do we pick? What becomes more important? Because this is crazy to me. If I purchase a house and I work hard thinking I got a home and I'm in my home and it's making me sick and I didn't, I have no clue. I've been blindsided. This is something I'm not aware of. We need to fix this problem, and it needs to be made a law, and we need to drop this number down in any foreclosed house before they are sold to anybody. Whoever the bank is that own the house, you need to conduct all the tests to make sure the house is up to par and is safe. Why would I want to bury a child? That is crazy. You bank owners, you don't want to put your family in no crap, so why would you sell crap to somebody else? Don't make no sense.